All right, hello. We're back talking about the ongoing flash flood emergency that is going on in parts of Pennsylvania as well as upstate well, not quite upstate, but Hudson Valley area, Orange County. And we're looking right now at the map of precipitation totals. I'm going to explain to you what's going on because there's too much to explain in the weather update explaining all of this. So we're going to focus mainly on what's happened today. And what we had was an area of training thunderstorms here. We've rerouted the radar now to around the noontime hours, and you can see these showers and thunderstorms training over the same areas with very heavy rain, mainly over upstate. You can see, look at this, again, mainly to the north and west here, northeast Pennsylvania, eastern Pennsylvania, into the Hudson Valley, Orange County, Sussex County, New Jersey, Rockland, northern Westchester, getting hammered by heavy rain for hours and hours and hours. Here we are, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. The rain is still ongoing in these same areas. It's just not moving at all. And we had one spot heavy shower develop, and then the rain started developing over Long Island. But you can see, look at all this heavy rain here that has been occurring over the same areas for hours and hours on end. It's pretty crazy. It is, and you can see it finally starts to get a little bit better. But you're literally dealing with 6 hours of at least an inch an hour rainfall out of these showers. All right, and now we are up to now. So we still have some showers over here and some thunderstorms still ongoing. So there's a flash flood emergency that has been declared for upstate and some counties, and like I said, Orange County, and also probably in Pennsylvania too. They have state of emergencies as well, I would imagine. We're focusing on New York in this. So let's first look at our rainfall amounts, and you can see where these heavy rainfall amounts have occurred. Again, we're looking at a map, and you can see that eastern Pennsylvania area. I mean, you have Reading, Pennsylvania, 5.35, 6.13 at Quakertown Airport, 5.22 in Teetertown. We went over some of these already. So you've got a really high rainfall amounts. 4 inches. I don't know if that's looks like Sparta. You can see extreme northwestern New Jersey, High Point, and Orange County. We're entering Orange County, so where some of these really there was a lot of flooding in these areas here, and some areas this doesn't even have all the rainfall amounts because some areas got even more than this. As I'm going to be reading to you here shortly. But it's caused quite a bit of damage upstate. There's quite a bit of flooding. The Metro North tracks have been washed out on the Hudson line north of Croton Harmon. And it says Hudson line suspended north of Croton Harmon. And it says, due to the impact of severe storms in northern Westchester, Putnam, and Dutchess counties, leaving behind high water, trees, boulders, and other debris, sections of Metro North Hudson line tracks north of Croton Harmon have become impassable. As a result, Metro North service between Croton Harmon and Poughkeepsie has been suspended and is expected to remain unavailable through at least a day on Monday. No word on any shuttle buses. However, Beeline is free this summer, so that's another thing. If you go to the Westchester Beeline, and I don't think they have any. I mean, there are some buses that serve those areas, but if you go here and you go to the Beeline, you'll see that their services are they have free service for this year. So let's see what it does say that. Let's see service alerts. Let's see what it says here. It's funny, somebody did share it with me. I don't know where it is, but it's not on their website. But they are offering free service, I believe, for the month of July, I believe. So. But it's not on the actual thing. Let's see, maybe we go to Twitter. Maybe it's just Westchester Gov. So, whatever the case is, I believe that you can utilize that. But getting back to the storm here, there's no word on any substitute service being provided by the MTA. They should, but it says here, customers normally riding to and from affected stations are encouraged to work from home on Monday if that is an option. Board Hudson line trains at Croton Harmon or take Harlem Surrey line service at Southeast Croton Falls or other stations along that line. So they should probably have a shuttle bus between those stations and the Harlem line, but no word on that. But let's take a look at some of the pictures here that have been shared. So here is the damage here that has been caused, and it looks pretty bad because it's not just trees on tracks. Right, this is the trees on tracks here, but we actually have possible washouts because of all the heavy rain. You have cliffs along those tracks, and sometimes you have landslides that have occurred. Yep, there you go. There's tracks washed out. Yeah, that's going to take some time to repair. Oh yeah, that's definitely going to take some time to repair. So this is the face of climate change here. Look at this. Wow, tracks here completely underwater. Look at that. Wow. Who knows if they can even get shuttle buses into these areas because the roads may be flooded as well. So really a big mess here. Look at that. That's a big washout. That's going to take a couple of days at least to fix. This is significant damage here that has occurred in Metro North territory. Governor Hochul also has made a statement about this, and it says here, 8 inches of rain reported in Orange County resulting in widespread flooding, road closures, and other life safety impacts. There have been 5 swift water rescue teams and a high axle deployed with flood rescue efforts. We have people that are trapped in their homes, vehicles washed away. State Emergency Operations Center and State Fire Operations Center activated to respond to local requests for assistance. New Yorkers should monitor local weather forecasts through Monday as more heavy rain and flooding is expected. And we already know, if you watch the weather update, that we're going to have yet more rain for the weekend. So we're getting California's Pineapple Express, basically. And these events are going to happen more and more as we deal with the climate crisis. Governor Hochul today declared a state of emergency for Orange County, where a reported 8 inches of rain resulted in widespread flooding, numerous road closures, and other storm-related impacts. At Governor Hochul's direction, the New York State Division of Homeland Security and Emergency Services Offices of Emergency Management activated the State Emergency Operations Center and is ready to support local requests for assistance. DHSES Office of Fire Prevention and Control deployed 4 swift water rescue teams, and state parks deployed an additional team on Sunday to the Mid-Hudson region to assist with flood rescue efforts. DHSES field staff are also embedded at the Orange County Emergency Operations Center to facilitate local requests for assistance. I'm issuing a state of emergency in Orange County, which has experienced life-threatening conditions due to flash flooding, Governor Hochul said. We are approaching a critical point in this weather event, and New Yorkers must remain vigilant. Remember, avoid flooded roads, monitor your local forecast, and have an evacuation plan ready if you're in a danger zone. DHSES is working closely with all impacted counties to coordinate response. Numerous roadways consisting of New York State Route 9W and Palisades Interstate Parkway are experiencing heavy flooding and washouts. The Palisades Parkway northbound is closed from exit 14 to Long Mountain Traffic Circle. As of Sunday morning, there were more than 12,000 power outages reported in Putnam, Dutchess, Albany, Ulster, and Orange counties. As of 8 p.m., road closures include Palisades and State Parkway at U.S. Route 9W in Rockland County, U.S. Route 6 in Westchester County, U.S. Route 9W, State Route 218, State Route 293, State Route 17M, and State Route 32 in Orange County, State Route 402 and State Route 301 in Putnam County, and State Route 190 in Clinton County. So it says New York State Division of Homeland Security Emergency Services Commissioner Jackie Brace said, we are working closely with partner agencies and local governments to address flooding in the Mid-Hudson region this evening. We have been preparing over the last few days for this weather system and have been in close contact with local officials throughout the weekend. New Yorkers should take extra caution if traveling and stay alert. New York State Police Acting Superintendent Stephen A. Nigrell said the New York State Police is working with its agency and law enforcement partners in the Hudson Valley region to get stranded motorists to safety. We have deployed additional troopers and resources, including swift water teams to assist those impacted by flooding. This is an active emergency situation, and more storms are expected. We urge motorists to avoid the area for their safety. Tonight and overnight, rain showers and thunderstorms are expected statewide. Tomorrow, thunderstorms forecast for the Capital Region, Central New York, Long Island, Mid-Hudson, Mohawk Valley, New York City, North Country, and Southern Tier regions, and rain showers forecast for the Finger Lakes region. Excessive rainfall caused by slow-moving thunderstorms is likely to cause flash flooding and minor to isolated moderate river flooding tonight into Monday. Most of the eastern portion of the state remains under a moderate risk for excessive rainfall tonight and tomorrow. Additional rainfall amounts between 2 and 4 inches is likely, with local higher amounts up to 6 inches tonight and tomorrow. Flood watch remains in effect for most of the state. So it's really a big mess here, and there's a whole thing here this goes into all the state agencies that are involved in this. But I want to actually go into some of the news reports now from this because we have, unfortunately, one confirmed death now from this flooding. You can see there's an image right there. And, this is all part of the climate crisis we're in. As it continues to get more serious exponentially, we are in a climate crisis. I don't even think crisis is even a good enough word now. I think it's more like climate emergency is what we're in right now. I'll let this ad play, but I really do think we're in a climate emergency at this point, and they do think the leaders of the world need to address this. But unfortunately, nobody seems to want to address it, and you have a lot of denial, especially on the right, that this continues to get worse, and we need to do something about it. But let's go to. This ad is almost over. I should have an ad blocker on the site, but I don't. Anyway,
are in Orange and Rockland counties. Video from Highland Falls shows the rising water earlier today. Vehicles half submerged there. And in nearby Stony Point, people also had to be rescued. That's where we find CBS 2's Lisa Rosner live with more. Lisa.
Well, Jessica, the rain is still on and off here in Stony Point, and you can still see remnants from earlier from the roaring floodwaters. Here's this home with water surrounding it. It has water damage. Crews just left for the night. And over in Orange County, it is much worse. Most of the roads there in Highland Falls, as you said, are impassable. Dozens of people have to be rescued, and I just spoke with the county executive who says the governor's help is crucial in opening the roads back up safely. West Point Highway in Highland Falls, Orange County turned into a rushing river Sunday. The fast-moving rain left cars submerged on Thayer Road at West Point. It saw the highest rain totals in the tri-state area, almost 8 inches of rainfall.
That's incredible.
The Orange County executive says a woman in her mid-30s trying to evacuate her home in Highland Falls died.
She and her dog were crossing where her car was parked, which was a flood of a river, and she walked across and lost her footing. I'm trying to respond to people that are trapped. Their house is in danger of either washing away, collapsing, or elderly people were evacuated from one of the nursing homes here.
In Rockland County, at this park near Lowland Hill Road in Stony Point, crews rescued a man by boat. This man says his family was having a celebration in the park and then got stranded after they became surrounded by floodwaters.
I was supposed to come to the party. I saw a lot of water. I don't see no people.
County Executive Ed Day says 6 hikers were rescued at nearby Bear Mountain, including a child that was taken to the hospital with a head injury.
The rain came in at an amazing clip. It really did have an effect on the stability of the sides of the mountain.
Water surrounded the Chabad of Stony Point Synagogue, coming right up to the windows.
This is just terrifying.
The synagogue is right next to the water bank over there, and it overflowed. We're able to pray now, and everything is okay.
Cars had to be towed from the parking lot of this theater, but still into Monday, travel may be difficult. 9W is closed until the highway is deemed safe for cars to be on. Also closed is the Palisades Parkway north of exit 14.
I've been here for 7 years. This is the first time I ever had seen this happen.
Well, a lot of first times as we deal with this.
And earlier
crisis.
here in Stony Point, there were power outages, but most of them have been restored at this point. I also spoke again with the Orange County executive moments ago. He tells me that most of the rescues have been completed. Now the focus is on reopening the roads. We are live in Rockland.
This is just a mess. It really is a mess, and we're lucky. And then storms, flash flooding, impact travel throughout the state. So again, it's a huge mess. But this here is the worst here, and it's a real crisis. And News 12 Westchester also covering this as well to some extent. I mean, they don't have too much on it, believe it or not. One of News 12 Hudson Valley. I think they would be the ones more to cover this. Hudson Valley division of News 12. Let's see if they have. Well, they don't really have anything else, so you'd think they would be covering this more. but it's not surprising. Let's see here, road crows, flood-prone areas in the Hudson Valley, but they're not really talking about the flooding that's going on in Orange County right now. It's bad. So let's go to the rivers and lakes maps here. We're going to look at this as well because we have some rivers that are very high as well. Here, if we go to the this river here, the Black River at Burnt Mills. Just make this a little smaller here. You can see that Black River at Burnt Mills. That is going way up. That's well past the major flood stage, and we have a lot of rivers here that are just rising very, very quickly here. Ramapo River, Mawa River went up too as well. And I have a feeling we're going to see more of these rivers come up as the time goes on here. Raritan River also rising. So there's been a lot of rain in just one day, up to 2 months worth of rain in one day. Certainly not something that we're not supposed to see here, but and I'm wondering if this is actually related to what happened in Oklahoma earlier this morning with the heavy rain there. But again, it's all due to the very high humidity that we have in the air. If we put dew points here on the map, I'll show you what I mean. So if we go look at the dew points, you'll see it's just really just very, very humid air. And there's this humid air across the whole. You can see all this humidity across the whole east here, pretty much dealing with very high humidity levels, even all the way up into Quebec, dealing with some rather humid conditions. But you have all this moisture just being advected into the area. You have a system that's just not moving very quickly because, again, we don't really have much of a jet stream to move things along. And whatever jet stream we do have is wavy and very diffuse, so systems don't move along like they're supposed to. The weather patterns are all screwed up, and what you're seeing is yet another result of this. And it's a really big mess up there. That is for sure. And I'm just really. And if we go again here, the radar, you'll see it's still raining up there right now. We can move this a little later here, but still got some thunderstorms there. And again, we have more rain in the forecast chances overnight. And then we'll dry out a little bit this week. And then, as I said in the weather update, we could be dealing with this all over again by Friday and Saturday next week. So as we deal with yet another low-pressure area here, as we deal with just a constant, this is not normal what we're seeing. That's all I got to say. It's just another example of it, and we're going to deal with worse. So it says right here, storm watch. But this is just going to show
Craig Allen with your
the weather outlook here. Oh, here's another picture here. A look at the flooding in Highland Falls. So we'll leave you with this picture here. And yeah, that pretty much says it all, folks. I mean, this is a disaster that our state experienced today, and probably Pennsylvania too. But I'm going to just focus on New York in here. But I'm sure Pennsylvania also did as well. Could probably put 6ABC on. See, they would probably be talking about this probably. Let's see, severe storms roll through. So here we go. Montgomery County leaving disaster behind. Here you go. And
is live in West Conshohocken, Montgomery County, where they had their share of flooding and some trees down as well, Katie?
Yeah, John, those storms rolled through Montgomery County, leaving a pretty big mess behind.
So
this is crazy. The rain is crazy.
It's wild.
They've never seen it rain so hard before.
Was not expecting this at all today, and it was just absolutely insane.
This is what people are talking about. Roads turned into rivers throughout Montgomery County. At Swede-Linden River Road in Conshohocken, this car couldn't get by. Look at this car engulfed in water up to its roof on the 1300 block of Conshohocken Road in Conshohocken. We saw a lot of flooding on Elm Avenue too. As storms rolled through Montgomery County, some got caught in flash flooding. Elm Street and Caldwell in Conshohocken were shut down because of the heavy flooding. Live wires were down on the 100 block of Front Street in Conshohocken.
There is now a tree down on my neighbor's garage with a live wire under it, so it sounds like Pico's going to have to come over and cut the power.
We're in the house, we heard a big bang, and then I don't know if the lightning hit the tree or what, but it came down and took these wires down.
On the 4100 block of Astor Lane in Plymouth Meeting, this tree was split from the storms in Ron Gamza's yard.
boom, which normally you don't expect to have right in your front yard. And lo and behold, I see bark off the tree. The tree's is what it is. And luckily it was 20 feet over and not 20 feet over by here.
While no one was hurt, part of the tree did land on his neighbor's car.
Her Mercedes, which I think is about 10 months old, the big branch came down on it.
And Ron says he has been putting lights on that tree for Christmas every year for the past 40 years, but this year he will not be able to do that as he does have a tree removal service coming tomorrow to get rid of that.
Yeah, well, this is, it says here that the key here is residents of the area say it has never rained. They have never seen it rain so hard before. And this is all, again, we have more water vapor in the atmosphere, warmer oceans. That means stronger. When we do have rain, it's heavier and it's more severe. And it's just another aspect of this climate crisis, or really a climate emergency. And we're just going to keep going through this. This is a nightmare, but this isn't a nightmare we're going to wake up from. It's only going to get worse. And, I'm just terrified of what's to come. That's all. Anyway, good night.